Six p.m. Everyone please stand. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Meeting opened at 6 p.m. Allegiance. And has everyone had an opportunity to look at the agenda? If so, I would need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4 yes. Linda is absent tonight. And we move on to item number 4, alternate interviews. Is there anybody from Ward 2 that is here for an alderman interview? Well, we will move on to item number 5, the Alcester Area Chamber of Commerce. Kim and Christine.
And hello.
Hi.
Shove it on up here.
There's a present right down here on the floor.
I'm a technology guru, so I'm gonna put on a presentation. Bring it on up here, Christine.
I'm her show pony.
She's my show pony.
God.
Get it on up, yes. Is that? It doesn't have a stand though, so you know. Well, I think the council wants to see it too.
Should I hold it like that 80s movie?
Yeah, it's not with the boombox.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, yeah. Let's not. Well, you gotta pull them both in, Kirstein.
Right here.
Okay, so while she's trying to figure that out, I'm Kim Erickson. I am the daughter of Brenda Hockel, who's the shop owner at Soulstorm Cold Shop. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about what the chamber had decided for our Christmas display and tree lighting ceremony on December 3rd. There was, really, Gordon? There was some, I know that there was some talk and some discussion about the city closing down the streets for our event. And so we just first off want to say we very much so appreciate the city taking the time and considering that. We have changed things slightly. So instead of the full request that was originally brought forward with it going closed from Pies down to the Broad Street, and then all the way, we're just gonna go with the way that we had things in years past. So it'll be at the 4-way stop to Broadway, and then we'll go up Iowa Street there until hopefully just Alliance. The only big concern that we had last year, there was some situations where it's dark, it gets very dark very early. And so we had noticed kids in the street. It was a dangerous situation, and with what we're trying to get going, we're just trying to make it safe. We do know that there is some concerns about making sure that the seniors can get there. However, we have a lot of new people coming into this town, and we need to keep people coming into this town. So as much as I appreciate the older community, I also have to focus on the younger community if we're going to keep Alcester growing. So with that said, one of the things that we have decided with the lovely ideas of Christine, she's my sister if anybody knows her, down in Vermillion for their holiday stroll. For how long? It's usually the way that they've done it in the past. I know this because I work there. But they would do it a Thursday night, the businesses would be open, and then
they would have a standstill light parade. Families could walk through, go take pictures. Santa would be there, horse-drawn carriages would be there, and then there was shopping throughout all the businesses.
And this has been going on in Vermillion for how many years?
5?
Okay,
It's
so
fairly
it's
new.
fairly new. It's kind of a take on, it is a take on
Parade of Lights.
Parade of Lights meets trunk or treating. So trunk or treating is very popular with the little kids. Parents love it because they don't have to tote their kids throughout the entire neighborhood.
It's safe, it's one
It's
area.
safe, it keeps them conjoined. The other thing is that if anybody was downtown last year, when Daryl Vick comes with the horse-drawn carriage, it is a cluster. Everybody wants on right now. So to alleviate that, we're trying to get different activities going and to kind of get a flow. So I'm going to show you kind
We
of.
want the crowd to sit crisscross applesauce on the floor. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think so.
Where did my Roku little hoop scoop go?
Oh, here it is. So you can see what we're talking about. The chamber does have a booth for the craft fair this weekend. So what we're going to be playing on the booth is this presentation. Hopefully it'll play. And it'll just kind of be playing. The biggest thing is trying to encourage people why it's important to be doing new events in the city. We want to get people here. We want people to come to Alcester. And we want the people that are new in town to know that there's something to look forward to every year. There's different things that you can look forward to. Where are we at here? You'll see I stole some stock video from Vermillion. They have Santa, different people come. The horse-drawn carriage, of course, will be there with Daryl Beck. Anything can be decorated, from semi-trailers to augers. Somebody had flatbreads.
ATVs, boats, campers, your trunk, like
Your
a trunk or
trunk,
treat
like a trunk or treat.
scenario.
I have one chamber member mentioned that her daughter and friends would like to probably put something in. This is not something that is limited to a family.
I have a high school boy
child.
decorating his mower and his wagon.
The fun thing about this is that there's no fee. We are not charging any entrance fee. And the community will vote. You'll get tickets to put in a bucket on who you think is the best one. First, second, and third place will get a cash prize. $200 for first place, $125 for second, and $75 for third. And that's, cash is being donated by 2 businesses, so Storm and Heritage. Anybody have any questions? So we're looking for registrations. We have until about November 30th, that's our next meeting that we're having with the chamber, to make sure that we have enough spaces. We've had a lot of people come up and tell us, I really want to do that. I think we've maybe had 8 confirmed, so is about what we're sitting at. We really want to try to make this something to look forward to.
Small town Hallmark Christmas.
Yes.
That's what it said, reminds me of Hallmark.
Right? Nothing beats a Hallmark channel. So just so we wanted to let everybody know, yeah, we don't need the street. Then there was some requests about alcohol services. We're not going to touch that this year. Maybe next year we'll build and go a little bit further. The Phuket's Shack, as we like to call it at Chamber, we don't really know what else to call it. We'll still have the hot cocoa and the cider and the cookies and all those things. So we're just trying to give one more element.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So if you want to sign up, there's no fee. Just decorate your trunk and win $200.
Money to be won.
Yes.
I have a cop car.
Yeah.
I think the fire
Already has
department.
lights.
Yeah, yes,
The
yeah,
fire
lights
department
are-
is entering.
Yes.
I mean, you got the lights. Just, put Santa on top. We're good.
Yeah.
Santa and a red nose.
So we're hoping to get cars parked on both streets, and then we'll save the middle for the fire trucks and augers or semis. And then hopefully we get enough people registered that we can go down Iowa Street as well.
Well, and then we also have that little open lot, the grassy part.
Yes, the grassy knoll.
North of the auditorium there, so.
Lots of exciting things, but we're getting there. All right,
Thank you.
Thank
that's
you.
it.
Thank you.
Is it a Friday night or a Saturday night?
Friday night,
Friday night.
December 3rd. Shut this off.
Well, at the last meeting, we had made a recommendation to shut the whole area down. As you can see, item 5B is modified a little bit, so I don't know if there's any other discussion right now, but if not, that would need a motion to approve the modification.
I'll make a motion to approve the updated street closure blocking off Iowa Street between Arlene's and the Alliance Building, 2nd Street between Iowa and Broad, 5 to 7:30.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the updated street closure for that event, December 3rd, blocking off Iowa Street between Arlene's and the Alliance Communications Building, and 2nd Street between Iowa and Broad Street from 5 to 7:30 p.m. Is there any other discussion? Excuse me. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Or yes. Approved. So we will move on to number 6, and we don't have Tanya Miller, but we do have somewhat of a little project update. And I don't know if you want to read basically what she said?
So Tanya sent me a message today saying that she wasn't able to be here tonight. She will set up a future time to come and visit with you. But she did want you to know the design process is moving forward, and they are about at that 30% mark complete. She'd like to schedule a time to come and present to the council after Thanksgiving, when the design process is about 50% complete. So she'll let us know when, sometime after Thanksgiving.
All right. There's your project update. And we'll move on to number 7, public input.
I do, on our minutes from the November 1st, it says that the Alcester Fire Department allowance, the number, it should be 1,400, and it's all goofed. It's like, it looks almost like it's $1,400,000, but. So it just needs to, that needs to be fixed, because it was in the minutes.
Typo, evidently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it for me.
Okay. Any other public input?
I do. What is the status of the Coke sponsorship contract?
It's been reviewed and it's in their hands.
Okay. Can you speak to what it involves or not?
Generally it involves placement of a dispenser, how much we're going to purchase from them and sell, a rebate that we'll get for the sale of their product.
Okay, okay. A couple other things. In the Freedom of Information, I was missing some months. I will get that to the finance office. I had noted in the minutes a couple bills, and I just had a question toward those. The check for the truck, that was cut on October 30th, with the, and that's the plow, with the proviso that Lonnie would go out and check on it. Sorry about the pun. To look at it, but I'm concerned, was that check signed and sent with him to go out there, or what was the process on that?
Yes, it was,
Check.
It was prior to him even seeing the truck?
correct.
Okay. Then there was another bill I noticed that the city of Hawarden had billed the city of Alcester for 90-some dollars. And I was just going to confirm, was that a water locate?
Yes,
Why was Hawarden doing a water locate in Alcester?
sometimes locates are difficult for us to find, and they have a little bit better equipment to locate that when we cannot locate it.
Okay, was that a resident of Alcester that asked for that, or was it somebody
It
else?
was a water line repair.
I'm sorry, what?
It was a water line repair.
Okay. And then there was a clothing allowance that I wasn't following for $115. It was for Wanda, and I'm just curious why a clothing allowance. Usually uniforms, but Wanda doesn't wear a uniform that I'm aware of.
Wanda is allowed a clothing allowance for reading meters.
Okay, that's everything I have.
Is there any other public input?
I had someone come to my house just before the meeting, just with concern, and it's taking care of itself. They didn't want liquor served at that December 3rd thing.
No.
So that's taken care of. We don't have to worry about it.
Any other public input? Yes.
Do we have an opening date yet for the center?
No, there's a few things that need to happen. The contractor is finishing up his, what they call punch list. It's the things that the architect found that need some attention. We, as a city, are working on a water situation, and once that is done, then we'll run a simulated test on the sprinkler system. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we can do a soft open, but it's scheduling.
Is there any other public input?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. After Cindy mentioned some things at the last meeting, I thought maybe I could stand and deliver some rebuttal to what was put on social media. First of all, a lot of you might not know me. I've only lived in town for 45 years. I don't go to church here. I haven't worked here since 1988. I don't frequent the coffee, but I'm David Larsen. I've been on the city council for 8 years. In the 45 years that I've lived in town, I think we have probably the best city staff, from cemetery to landfills, water, sewer, police, that we've had during that time. I congratulate the city for finding some good people that'll take care of things. I was disappointed, like Cindy was, that the chamber chairman had some mean things to say. First of all, I don't consider myself an embarrassment, and I'm not lazy. Those of you that maybe have been out at the golf course know that I volunteered out there, volunteered my time for all of the 8 years that I've been here, spending probably 8 to 15 hours a week doing different things, from fixing irrigation equipment to working on mowers. Recently, I sprayed the entire golf course for broadleaf weeds. I moved some carts so that our new cart shed is usable. If you notice at each end of the cart shed, there's a rock garden. Those rocks have been picked up by hand in a bucket and moved there by me. Some of you may have noticed when the cart shed was first built, the siding had dimples in it. There was, they call it oil canning. I made and placed about 800 little foam blocks between the stringers and the metal to take out many of those dimples. It must have worked because where the sheeting is, the people that finished the construction, the workers cut little square holes so they could put their own little foam blocks in there. And most of the dimples are now out of the siding there. I helped unpack chairs here this last week. There've been many meetings, not just here, but at the community center, and all of that stuff is no charge to the city. I'm not the only one. Cindy and Linda spend a lot of time, I'm sure, on the Public Safety Committee. Lucas hasn't been here very long, but he's already spent part of a couple days with his trailer, his pickup, hauling chairs so that we could have an event. Darla and I last Friday did some interviews. We've done several interviews. Linda's helped trying to find people that are going to be working at the convenience or the community center. Now, I have been paid to do some work for the city. When I am a clubhouse attendant, I get paid. I am the lowest paid employee there. I also have been reimbursed for some items. You may have noticed in the minutes, irrigation equipment. I think for 2 years, over 2 years, I have ordered irrigation repair equipment. The irrigation equipment for the new golf green, I ordered that. Because of my prior orders, I got a 30% discount for the city. That was reimbursed to me. When the contractor said we need to have TVs put in the bar because it was time, I just happened to be going to Sioux Falls. I picked up two 50-inch LG TVs and the brackets. During that same trip, I also got a keypad door lock for the cart shed. And like Pat and Wanda, whenever I was doing that kind of stuff, I did not charge for the time spent or any mileage. Those of you that don't like, and I'm talking not just the group here, but anybody in that camera, those of you that don't like the way the city is being run, run for office. Next April, we have an election. There's going to be, I know, 3 spots vacant. Petitions are you can start circulating in February. The job pays $125 a month. We have at least 2 meetings, probably more. There are few benefits. We don't take any trips to Acapulco for the committee meetings. There are some headaches and some sleepless nights. And if you're one of the people that would like to do that, sign on for the long term, because it's going to take you 6 or 7 months to figure out what's going on. And for those of you that like the way things are going, might not hurt to tell somebody on the city staff that you like the way things are going. Because like anybody else, we need a pat on the back too.
Thank you. Is there any other public input? Hearing none, we will move on to number 8. I believe we have the Alcester EMS Director, Jeff Nahaba here.
Good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've been here, so I thought I'd come and share some updates of what's been going on with EMS. There's a lot of rumors that are circulating around right now, and I guess I'm here to try to straighten some of them rumors out. Approximately 2 to 3 months ago, there started to be a discussion between the fire department and the ambulance of possibly merging back together. Since we started to do more training, we are responding to calls together, we're working closer together now than we ever have in the past, that it would be a good idea that we be housed in the same building. So it was brought to the ambulance squad, the idea was thought about, we let it set for about a month. Then approximately a month ago, we had a meeting voted as a squad to pursue selling of the EMS building and moving back in with the fire department. So we did contact a realtor, figuring this process after talking to the realtor was gonna probably take a year or better to get it done. We contacted the realtor on a Friday, and on a Monday, we had the building sold. The Alcester ambulance is not going away. The Alcester ambulance is not being taken over by Hayward. The Alcester ambulance is not run by Hayward. The Alcester ambulance is not run by the city of Hayward. The Alcester ambulance is run by a board that is voted on by the members. The director was hired by the board, which is me, to oversee the day-to-day operations. That being said, we're moving forward with this so we can merge back and have one building instead of two buildings that we're paying for. There is going to be a business moving into that building, so that building can go back onto the tax revenue for the city. We have currently, the roster we have is 27 members. We've got 3 of them that in January are going to take the EMT class in Hayward. When I took over as director, the first meeting we had was, there was 4 people and myself there, trying to cover 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have we done everything right? No, but we strive to make Alcester EMS better. So that's where we're at. We didn't think it would happen this quick. None of us thought it would happen this quick. But the relationship that the fire department, the ambulance has now is growing stronger every day. And we want to keep that relationship going because all it does is benefit the community. In a small community like this, the fire department has to depend on the ambulance and the ambulance has to depend on the fire department. We cannot function without each other. So that's where it's at, and I would take any questions from council. And then John Cirk, the assistant director, asked if he could say a few words after me. So if the council members have any questions, I'd be willing to entertain them at this time. If not, I'll turn it over to John.
When you were listing who doesn't run the Alcester EMS, one thing you, I think, maybe didn't mention was the city of Alcester. This council doesn't run the EMS either.
Correct. The Alcester EMS is a standalone organization governed by a board. That board is elected by its members. We also have retained a accountant to oversee the books to help to make sure that there is no problems, that we're doing everything correct that we need to be doing. We also have retained an attorney to handle any legal questions or any legal issues that may come forward. So we're trying to strive to do everything in the proper manner. Are we perfect? By no means. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is. We're trying to make everything better for the community. As you can see by the turnout, the sport, a year ago we had 4 members. This is just part of my squad right now, part of your guys' squad. I didn't do this on my own. These people are the ones that helped build this thing to where it is now. Putting the time in, taking the class, things like that. So they're the ones that got to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and answer the call and take care of. They're doing it here because their heart's in the right place, and I applaud them for it. I've been in this business 40 years now, and it still touches my heart when you have a community that comes together, when you have people in the community that come together to want to help their neighbors, and that's what they're here for. So, anybody else have any questions? If not, I'll turn it over to John. Yes.
Will you be using some of your funds then to pay for upkeep of the building?
The funds that will be, first of all, we'll pay the debt over. The current debt, if it was keep going, would be paid off in 2034. I think 2134. I think The funds that will be above and beyond the debt will be used to help pay for upkeep on the fire station, and also we're going to try within the next year, hopefully update to a newer ambulance. The ambulance needs to be updated. It's still in good shape. We've done some updates. We just purchased a power load system for the ambulance, which if anybody is not familiar with that, what that is you put the cot up to the system, you push a button, and it brings the legs up and it helps load the patient. So people aren't lifting the patient and the cot. We bought a new defib. We bought several pieces of equipment to help update and, keep with the current things. We've paid for the training of the 7 people that took the class last, when was that, guys? Yeah, last year, there was 7 and we went through the class in Akron. So that's what the funds will be used for. It'll be to update equipment. So update equipment, and also now we'll be sharing the expense with the fire station, which, every building needs upkeep, so. Okay?
What were the rumors going around? I didn't hear.
Well, there was rumors going around that the money was going to be distributed to individuals. There was rumors going around that the Hayward ambulance was taking over, that the Alcester ambulance was going under.
Money was gonna go towards the city too, was one of them.
The money was going to go to the city, pay off the golf course. It just, unfortunately, we live in a time and age. I think the gentleman that spoke about social media, it's easy to say stuff on social media and say things without the facts present. Like I said, we don't do things perfect. I don't do things. If anybody does things perfect, please let me know, and then I'd like to follow in their footsteps. But we're not doing anything that we're illegal. We're not doing anything that we're not supposed to be doing. Everything is done with the consulting of either an attorney or an accountant. Everything is done and voted on by the squad and by the members. So, So at this time, I guess if nobody else has any more questions, I'll turn it over to John.
Well, I'm John Sturk, most of you guys know me. I've been a member of the ambulance for quite some time now, I can't even tell you how many years. But I became the assistant director when Jeff came in. I was the director beforehand. I was kind of thrown into my lap, I really didn't know what I was doing. We had, like he said, we were down to 4 members. We were kind of struggling to keep our heads above water. We decided to, what happened was the state came down, and I'll just be blunt, and said, if something doesn't change, you guys are going under, we're going to shut you down. This town needs an ambulance. We run right around 100 calls a year. We're actually above that now.
Right, 139 as of Friday.
Yeah. So we're running quite a few calls right now. The ambulance and the fire are both necessities in the town, I feel. And I think most people here feel that same way. So when the state came down, they invited Jeff to come over because he was covering a lot of the calls. And lo and behold, Jeff says, if you guys need help, give me a call. Well, thank God, because I was the director. I didn't know what I was doing. I was kind of just winging it, no training, nothing. Jeff knew what he was doing from the get-go. Yeah, it's different state to state, but he had a pretty good idea and know where to start. So, like I said, he is hired on basically as our director, which the amount of work put into it doesn't even start to cover the cost of what he's, what we're paying him. Because there's a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of learning that have to be done on that. He came in, we got together, like I said, there was only 4 members. We were barely making any calls at all. He came in, and how long ago was that, Jeff?
About a year ago.
About a year ago. We thought in a year, if we had 10 members, we were going to be doing great. And I mean, look at this. We got more than 10 members here right now. I can't speak to the quality of the people we have on. They're all fantastic people. I mean, And to have the backing that we have now with the people, and I think a lot of the people in the town have seen the growth and feel the impact of it. Jeff has really put us in the right direction. But again, it comes down to the people that have stepped up. Because I can't do this myself, Jeff can't, none of us can do it ourselves, you know. But, I mean, yeah, it's been great lately. A lot less stress for a lot of people. And like I said, I think the city actually feels the impact of having a squad that's there when they call instead of, well, are we gonna get Alcester, are we gonna get Pierce, are we gonna get Hayward? So, I guess, as far as that goes, if the council has any questions for me, go ahead and feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will sit back down and let this meeting go along. But like I said, you were talking about giving the city council a pat on the back, which I really think that they do need that. I would also like to encourage the fire and the ambulance to get a pat on the back from everybody, because, man, there's a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of stuff that we have to deal with that most people don't ever have to see. So, I thank you and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You too.
You know, a lot of you applauded Alderman Larsen, and I believe that you deserve it.
I want to say thank you from the behalf of the ambulance for that and the fire department, because it means a lot.
Yeah, it does. It really does. And I think that there's a lot of respect for what you're doing, so keep up the good work. All right, well, we will now move on to item number 9, legal updates. Sam, I don't know if you got something for all 3 of those, or 2 of them?
I do. This will not be as good a news as we just got from those gentlemen, but it never usually is with me. 307 Ofsted, I got a chance to talk with that property owner's attorney. They are cutting us a check for on Thursday for the building permit, and it'll be sent to us, so I imagine we'll get that soon. Indicated he was not aware that there was additional work going on outside, and he's going to get with his client and let me know. I spoke separately with Mr. Fillingsness about whether there would be a stop work order, because I think it is outside the building permit. I let Mr. Clausen's attorney know that as well, so I'll reiterate, he needs to give me a permit for that, and I don't know where Mr. Fillingsness is on that, but 505 Ofsted, spoke with Mr. Fillingsness and Mr. Paulson a couple different times. There's going to be a notice and order from the code enforcement official detailing the issues with that property, and I think ordering him to board up the windows. Last I checked with Mr. Fillingsness, he said that the property was salvageable in his opinion, so the notice and order will kind of initiate the process where the property owner needs to take care of it, and it will eventually we'll get to a point whether we either have to go to court for nuisance or the property owner gets it taken care of. So, other legal updates, I don't have any beyond those 2, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Anybody got any questions for our legal representative? Not? We will move on to item 10, redistricting resolution.
I actually have that one as well. So in the interim between when you folks indicated you wanted to express support keeping Union County together, and this meeting, the legislature met in a special session and passed the Senate's version of the redistricting plan, a map you might have heard of called in the news Blackbird, I think it was 2.0, and so Blackbird did divide up Union County into separate legislative districts. That will not occur until after the next election. So for the 2022 legislative session upcoming, we're still in the current District 16. So your redistricting resolution was not written because I didn't want it to say, we want you to vote to keep Union County together when you already voted to take us apart. So you can still pass a resolution. It should probably just say, we're not happy with you. We're not going to forget. So I did not spend the city's time on writing that because I didn't want to, do it for something that wasn't going to matter, and we can still do it if you wanted to express your displeasure with the legislature. It's up to you.
So that map that we saw where they gave most of it to like Vermillion
Yes,
area, is actually county.
yes.
So that's what happened?
Yes, I think if I remember right, and it's available on the legislature's website, but there's a sliver of kind of southwestern Union that was put into 17 now. And my county, I think, I'm doing this from memory, so I could be wrong, Cindy, but I think you go up into part of Lincoln, but then Lincoln goes like this over into a big block of Turner. So my legislative district is real wild now. We're in different districts too, so we used to be in the same one. But yeah, they did. I think they did grab the dunes.
I'm sorry.
So in essence, it really doesn't make much sense for us to have a motion to approve the redistricting resolution if it's not going to do any good.
I agree.
I agree.
Does everybody concur with that? Anything else you'd like to add, Sam, or anybody concerning that?
You said it way more succinctly than I ever could, man.
Okay, well then, you'll notice that you now have a new council committees document in your packet, and it includes a blank spot called Ward 2 Alderman, but it also includes Lucas Dreesen in every position that used to say Curtis Kaiser. So that was the easiest way to do that. And obviously, over time, I know one year we had an issue where an alderman took or was concerned about changing from one committee to another committee. I think it's wise to do some rotating of individuals in these different committees so that you do get an opportunity to, I guess, experience more than just one or two committees.
I do too. Because I went in, I'm not on the water and streets or the wastewater and solid waste, but I went through and had Lonnie explain what he does and everything, and he showed me all the equipment. And then Dale went through and showed me the waste treatment plant so that I could get an idea of what's going on and stuff.
That doesn't sound like she's lazy either. Well, that's good. I mean, I've said all along that there really is no class. Sure, there are workshops that you can go to. One workshop day a year doesn't teach you how to become an alderman. It doesn't teach you how to become a mayor. We need to dig into the documents. We need to figure out what our policies say. We need to figure out what our committees really are supposed to be doing. And I think we're getting there. So I think you all deserve a pat on the back too. I think you're doing a fine job. So.
Thank you for your work there, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
And we will now move on to the chairperson updates if needed. Let's see. Streets. That would be Lucas Dreesen. I guess I don't know if you have any updates on the streets right now.
I don't think so. Talked to Lonnie today a little bit and told him the streets look good. He's out sweeping and cleaning up the east side of town there, so.
How'd the new truck look? You look at it?
Good, good. I think he has it over to Bearsford getting a few other things done on it, but, yeah, I think it should be good.
Good.
I think the stainless steel blocks will be a big asset.
For sure over time.
Well, then we will move to the cemetery, and actually, the Ward 2 alderman would be the chair. Lucas and Cindy, I think you are on that committee, but I don't know if you have anything specific. I will tell you that just the other day when I was out and about, I mean, it looks like a cemetery again.
Yes, because I've been going, I drive it once a week and look at it.
Very nice. Yeah. That's encouraging. Let's see, water and wastewater. Now, there's wastewater and solid waste. That would be Linda, Darla, and the Ward 2 alderman. But water and streets really kind of,
I'll change that for next time.
yeah, that would be good. I think so. Thank you. But how about wastewater and solid waste? We're obviously going to hear about November 30th here in a little bit. That's when the,
We met with Dale, Linda and I, just for the evaluation, or do you really think it went well?
good.
He informed us on a few things, but, you know,
And Dale's been here how long? 20-some years?
2 years.
22? And this is,
we did visit about, you know, how old we're all getting, and, you know, that it would be a good idea if somebody else, you know, knows his job, and he agreed, but he said, well, he knows his job, you know, fairly, to back him up a little bit.
that's a good idea. Yeah, a little cross-training, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
That, I assume, was his first annual review ever.
Yep. No, well.
Good. Well, we did have an officer here, but
He just sent me a text to let you know he went out on a call. Try to make it back, but
well,
I do have something that I wanted everybody to know regarding the, when he had to use the Narcan on that call. It did come back that those pills were not Oxycontin, they were fentanyl.
fentanyl.
And he got a letter that, he received a letter from the state AED and CPR evaluator saying what a great job he did on his process and stuff. And
Nice.
when he did his report, he said it was excellent. So I think that he kudos, because he saved a life too.
Cindy, I have a question about that Narcan stuff. I'm
Uh-huh.
hearing on the news that it's getting to be in short supply. Does the city have what they need?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I guess the only thing I would bring up is, this is a considerable amount of calls here.
Yeah.
I mean, they're busy. Granted, I mean, maybe some of it isn't as important as some other things, which is kind of interesting because there's a parking complaint. Well, that says parking complaint, but it could have ended up with some kind of a DUI attached to it. I mean, there could be any number of things that are happening, but that Zerker software, they just enter, one little tidbit of information and that's it, so. I see that, I think it was on the front page, animals lost, but later on, animals found, so. But then animals lost, so. They've got full plates. How about the library?
We will be having a new board member. Our librarian has approached someone and they have agreed to serve, so at the next meeting, I'll bring that forward, be on the agenda. The new door, the new door opener, handicap door opener is working great. It's all been installed. And other than that, I think we're probably cruising through till the end of the year.
Good. Well, you may as well just continue right on and give us their golf course.
Nothing new about the golf course, other than we got leaves on the ground. So if we have a chance to mulch them up before snow flies, we'll probably find some golf balls.
Probably. Well then, Cindy Peoples is the Finance and Budget Chair. And the next item is Finance Office.
I don't have anything.
You did do a review there too, didn't you? Or is that,
We haven't got.
No, we haven't got to do
Okay.
that yet.
okay, but that's in the works.
That is, yes.
Okay. Well, that is it for item 12. We'll move on to, actually, if Chief Sculler is able to make it back in time, we'll revisit item 13 when he's back in. Assuming that he does get back here. How about leasing golf carts?
Well, I was talking with the fellow that we rent golf carts from when we have tournaments. And he said, you know, you could just lease, I was asking him what other courses did. He said, you know, some courses, they just lease them all year long, for $550 a cart. So I guess I'm thinking, right now, we own 9. And during the year, they got quite a bit of use this year. But we also had over $1,000 worth of repairs that were done on those. Brake cables breaking, one brake pedal broke, I don't know how hard that got stomped off. Bumper replaced, you know, somehow they run into trees and stuff.
I do that when I snow ski.
But anyway, I was just wanted to let you know that that option is available. We could use our cart. He said, okay, it's $550 this year. If we would get 2 carts, it'd be $1,100. If we would trade in one of our carts, in the past, he's given us a trade-in value of about $1,000. So we would own, instead of 9, we would own 8 next year, but we would have 2 new carts that he would do the maintenance on. And the following year, we would trade in 2, and then we would have to rent the 2 plus 2 more. So then it would be a couple $1,000. So what it amounts to is, after about 4 years, we wouldn't have any more to trade in for 3 years. Then it's going to cost us almost $6,000 a year to lease them. But we wouldn't have any maintenance expense. He comes down and does the maintenance on them, oil changes. If there's anything that breaks, he comes down and fixes it. So I just, you know, I wanted to bring it up. I can get some more facts and present, but what's other people in the council think? Is that a likable or a situation where we might want to do that, or should we just continue on?
I guess up front it looks pretty good, you know, but down the road when we don't have any cards to trade in, might get expensive.
Right.
And the price of leasing them at that time might be higher.
Yeah, I would think that probably in another year or two, instead of $550 for a cart for each season, it would probably be closer to, you know, $6, maybe $650 by the time we get 3 or 4 years down the road. But then, you know, what we have been doing in the past is we trade in 2 a year. Now this year we are hoping to need a little bit more cart usage with the new clubhouse and everything. So this year we were going to trade in 1 and get 2 updated. They're not new, they're used, but they're probably 5 or 6 years newer than the ones we're going to trade in, or the one we're going to trade in. And we budgeted $6,000, right, Pat, for that. In the past, we budgeted like $4 grand to trade in 2 and get 2 newer ones. not new, but newer used ones.
The least carts though probably would be newer yet.
The leased carts would be brand new.
Yeah, I figured as much.
When he brings them, the leased carts will be brand new the first year they show up here. So,
Would he take them back in the fall then? Or would they
I
stay
think
here?
there's an option there. If we want to store them, he would just come down and do maintenance on them here.
Where's he? Is he out of T?
This is B&B golf cars from T. It's not NB golf cars,
Yeah.
which is right beside the airport and the interstate. This is north of the airport, back about, you gotta wind back in the streets, warehouse district back there, so. Nice fellow to deal with, very, impresses me as being very honest, forthright, so. But I don't know, why don't you think about that, and we can maybe revisit that in another month.
One thing that, that $6,000 sounds like a lot, but we're dealing with approximately 4 every year. Now it's really only $2,000 more, and you end up with new carts. And and no maintenance.
Yeah, well,
So
that's the thing.
we own our carts now,
We have 9 carts right now.
and we own them.
We own them, yes.
So we probably keep a used cart about 4 years. We do the trade-in every,
4 or 5 years, yeah.
we pick the 2 oldest ones, or maybe the second to oldest ones that have some personality that we
Yes.
can get rid of.
Personnel, that's exactly the word I was going to use.
Well, I definitely think that maybe selling them outright, we could get quite a bit more money. If we decide to lease, we could always sell them. And I would imagine we could get $200 to $2,500 out of them if we sell them straight out.
Certainly possible.
I mean, if you look around to see what golf carts cost,
Yeah.
there's not a cheap golf cart out there. So, I mean, that'd be an option.
Yep, that'd be another option.
Yeah.
So, okay, I might do a little research and see what
Yeah.
used cars are worth.
Good deal. Well, if there's nothing more on the golf course or the leasing, we'll move on to the community center. 2 spots to hire people.
Well, like I said, Carl and I interviewed some people Friday night, and we've interviewed some other people. Linda's helped too. We have a person that would like to do some day serving for us, and a person that would like to do some nighttime serving for us, weekend even. So I would like to make a motion that we hire Joni Shemp. She is the person that wants to do the day shift, and Laura Rodriguez, who said she would be able to do up to 3 of the night shifts. And the rate is $7.50 per hour. They get to keep their tips. This is a server position. And effective, I guess we could make it effective in a week or 2 weeks. Let's see, today's the 15th.
You referred to them as servers?
Servers, wait staff.
Yep.
They may also be doing some bartending.
And you might have already said this, but effective when?
Well, let's go with November 22nd. So, motion to hire Joni Shemp and Laura Rodriguez, the rate of $7.50 per hour, plus their tips that they earn, for a server position effective November 22nd, 2021.
I'll second it.
Well, there are two names here. I think I'm going to split that up, if that's all right with you.
It's okay.
Can we just do them? Okay, that's fine. Motion has been made and seconded to hire Joni Schemp and Laura Rodriguez for $7.50 an hour, plus the tips that they receive as servers or wait staff. And that would, those two hirings would be effective November 22nd. Is there any discussion?
They won't be on the schedule until we open, obviously.
Sure. Is there any other discussion? Well, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hired. Oh,
We have another,
Your dishwasher.
What?
we have,
Your dishwasher
Yeah.
person?
yep. We interviewed Keegan Clemmy for dishwasher. He's under 16, so it'd be the same as some of the other ones that we've hired, but I would make a motion to hire him.
how do you spell Clemmy?
Klemme.
Dishwasher.
His rate of pay was minimum wage, right?
Minimum wage.
$9.45 an hour, because they do not get tips.
And you said he's how old, or?
He's only, I think he's just 14.
Okay.
So,
About 15.
Under 60. So, Darla made the motion.
I'll second that.
Seconded.
Effective date?
Yeah, when would that be effective?
should we say the same day?
Yeah.
November 22nd. 2021.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to hire Keegan Clemmy as a dishwasher for $9.45 per hour with no tips because they don't receive tips. Effective November 22nd of this year. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. I don't have any more room to write, but is there anybody else that needs to be hired? Okay. Well, then we'll move on to number 16, Finance Office updates.
I'm gonna be making, some phone calls and, touch base with the auditors. I haven't heard from them on the status of our 2020 audit. So I just wanted to let you know about that. We are nearing, getting everything done for the things on the community center, so, that will be good. I'll follow up with furniture deliveries, and I talked with Jim on some final things that need to be done up there, so that's all I have right now.
Okay, well, then we'll go on to letter B, and that would be the motion to approve the 2022 liquor operating agreements for the Alcester Bar / Dean Enterprises, Alcester Golf Course, and Total Stop Food Store.
Are these at the same rate, or we don't need to discuss the rental?
No.
Okay. So I would make a motion to approve the 2022 liquor operating agreements for the Alcester Bar, Dean Enterprises, Alcester Golf Course, and Total Stop Food Store.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the 2022 liquor operating agreements for the Alcester Bar / Dean Enterprises, Alcester Golf Course and Total Stop Food Store. Is there any other discussion?
Is the fee for all three of those $1,200?
No, it's different. The alcohol is $1,200, the off sale is $250, and the total stops wine is $300 or $500.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You vote yes. Pass. Reminders and updates. Obviously, there's a Thanksgiving holiday coming up, November 25th and 26th. The office will be closed. And the landfill closes on November 30th. Let's see, November 30th is Tuesday?
Yes. So essentially,
So really, it closes the 29th, Monday, yeah. All right, then there is item number 17, executive session for personnel.
I would like to motion to enter into executive session pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2 in parentheses 1.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to enter into executive session pursuant to SDCL 1-25-2, parent 1. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I vote yes, and it is 7:06 p.m.
You might not make the paper. Good.
What did you call us out, Mayor?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
And I will call us out of executive session at 7:39 p.m. And the object of the game is to move back to item number 13. Chief of Police is here.
How are you?
Apologize, I had a call.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
When you get the big bucks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Looks like you had a busy month.
Yeah, I'd say, to be honest, it feels like getting back into normal. Nothing too particularly like significant happened this month, so I really, we're kind of, I think, more leveling out with, our calls and being able to go on patrol, and like I said, nothing too significant this month. So if you have any questions about any numbers or anything like that, a few juvenile things,
Yeah, saw that. Some truancy.
yeah.
Weren't any issues with Halloween, were there?
Really, I don't think there was any issues with Halloween. Both of us were out. We had good turnout. I think I had, 100 necklaces, and then I got 200 bracelets, but I only put 100 out because I had to put each end on each bracelet before everybody showed up. So I didn't want to do 200, but we did, before I think it was even dark, we were out of them. So I think we had a good turnout this year for Halloween, and there was really nothing that significant happened. So we were both out patrolling and making sure some people were safe and having a good time, which I'm kind of glad to see.
Yeah.
Grayson enjoyed his sheep corralling today.
I heard there was some sheep out and about, causing a ruckus, puffing around, but I guess I never asked them about
They were
that.
so cute.
North of Sixth Street?
Yeah,
No, well, they were over in our grass.
They were in the grass.
And then they went to the storage unit.
They almost went in the
Corey
corner.
Pearson's garage.
Yeah. His garage was open and they went running up and then.
they can't complain of fresh grass.
Okay.
So that's letter A. Then we move on to letter B, on-call pay discussion, October 19th, 2021 to November 26th, 2021.
Okay, I tried to explain this part to them.
Okay.
Maybe you can explain it better, but
Well, unlike last time Linda asked me just to bring it to this meeting so we keep up on it until Grayson moves in. I believe Thanksgiving is when he is going to be moving within the on-call and we can be 100% back to normal. So I made an Excel spreadsheet for everyone. I guess Cindy and I had a little discussion beforehand. Not sure if you guys talked about that or not. I took some vacation hours this past 2 weeks, but I was within the 15 miles and always available. It's not like I wasn't on call and I was, out to Las Vegas or something like that. She spent time for hunting season, like we had a little discussion before. I'd say a few months ago. But if you, I guess, what are questions on the? How can I explain this for you
We were
guys?
just looking at the policy regarding on-call.
Yes, sir.
For all practical purposes, I'm gonna just call it Officer A and Officer B. 44 hours on-call, 44 hours on-call, and that's it. So technically speaking, I guess I don't know where numbers like 58.62 and 72.43 and 67.52 come from, but because over here underneath on-call hours paid, 44, 44, 44, those are logical to me.
Yep.
I would think that over here it should say 44, 44, 44 as well.
Well, like I said, at this point, I'm not gonna bark up a tree or ask for anything that I'm not owed. We had a discussion at the beginning, if I was gonna be compensated for everything that I sacrificed while being by myself. The numbers, let's see, maybe we'll start, we got the first week, there's hours within that week, since it was the day after council meeting was 96. I worked 24.08. Hours on call, since it was short, were 31.43. And then, so the full-time worked might be the confusing part. And, I'm just laying it out there, what I've been on call, and letting you guys decide. So full-time worked 9.363, that time that Grayson worked while I was not on shift as well. So if you go down a week, it's 27.15, so he's still new. I kind of feel like he need to merge some of our hours, go through some stuff, and if he has any questions about cases, and I guess he's still kind of new, so I like to at least be able to continually train with him, and if he always has questions, and it kind of goes down from there. Does that kind of clear it up a little bit, or?
Well, it does, but again, I keep looking at this policy and it's 44 and 44.
Yep. And that's when that policy was generated when we, me and Jeff were together.
Right.
I think we generated it at $60 a week with the intention of revisiting it, which we never did. But that was based off, we each worked 40 hours a week. I work 40, Jeff would work 40, and then that left 88 hours per week that would be on call. So that's generally why we, put it as a salary. And that's because, some weeks generally we'd be a little bit higher, some weeks we'd be a little bit lower. And that, based off these numbers, it kind of shows you how complicated it could get. And, that's why we did do that salary. So I brought this, Excel spreadsheet for you today and just show you the hours that I've been on call and just leave it in your guys' hands.
Need a motion?
We would need a motion to.
Okay. I'd make a motion that there's 5 weeks involved between October 19th and November 26th. I would make a motion that we pay Austin the $60 for each week that he would be on call instead of Grayson. $300 total.
I'll second it.
A motion has been made and seconded to pay Chief Sculler for the equivalent of $60 each week for 5 weeks, totaling $300. That would be for on-call between October 19th, 2021 and November 26th, 2021. Any other discussion?
When will that be paid in the regular paycheck?
It'll be paid on November 30th, that's our next pay period.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, November 29th.
29th,
Is our next check,
Monday.
sorry.
Yep. Is there any other discussion?
I have a comment, Austin.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how the other people feel, but I don't want you working 24/7. You're gonna burn yourself out.
Yep.
And if you're doing training with Grayson, in my opinion, you're gonna have to short some other hours someplace else. So if the two of you are on duty at the same time, that means that sometime during the week when nothing else is happening, you hope, then nobody might be on duty. Just don't let the criminals know that.
Well, I appreciate it, and that's why, the last 2 weeks I took some PTO, tried to get out in the deer stand and, just try to be at peace. Like you said, I was still, available if anything did happen, but at least I was out in what I would consider my happy place, so, which was refreshing.
Is there any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yes. So one of the things that we were discussing a little bit ago, Chief, is Narcan. And
Yes, sir.
there was, and I don't know whether this was announced on TV or what, but is there a shortage?
Not that I know of.
We
Maybe.
have all of ours, right?
It was on
Maybe.
Kellogg, I saw it too.
Maybe.
I saw it on Kellogg too.
There could be, like throughout, I know pharmacies, there's programs, for just the general public to be able to, access that, say, you have, a good example is Army veteran, prescribed opioids, he can, for free, go down to most pharmacies, and there's programs for him to be able to have Narcan or naloxone, on their person, so, guess I don't know if there is a shortage in that sense, but, we get our supply through the state.
How does that come to you? I mean,
They just mail it to us for free.
oh,
I
it comes
just-
in the mail.
Yep, I just asked it, so. I just
Good.
shoot them an email and they usually send me 1 or 2 boxes too many, so. Which is always helpful.
Yeah. Well, especially when you even run out. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just scary, so. Good, all right, well, like we said earlier, I think you deserve a pat on the back too, and so does Grayson, I think everybody's doing as good a job as they possibly can, given the conditions that we're in, so
Thank you.
keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I'll try.
All right, well, the only other thing that is on the agenda that has not been dealt with is number 18.
I'll make a motion to adjourn council.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the council. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Be darned. Here, just hang on a second. There, 7:53 PM.